They feel the pain that Nigeria lost one of the best presidents so far we have ever had in this country since they created Nigeria. Nigeria, this they pay me. As I dey cry. Now my friend talk say, death took the wrong person. You dey craze? Now be the right person we're supposed to die before. Not be the right person.
Hello Nigerians, wait yo, in the midst of this morning, let us understand who died. Na Jibril die, Abina Buhari die. In the 4 years, 4 years, now they take traumatize us. Jibril versus Buhari. So where Aisha Buhari now, let's see her come and tell her. Be like say, now the only person where fit tell us the truth when it concerns federal matter. Now Jibril with the man now, Abina Buhari. We don't want a station where tomorrow they'll come and tell us that it is Jibril that died. Buhari is still in London. Let us know.
Buhari is dead and buried in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia. Aisha Buhari was there. She came back from what they call the lesser Hajj. She was wearing black. She was mourning. If you look at the pictures that were circulated at that point in time, you will see the smug, or should I say, the forlorn faces of northern governors. A minute silence was held at the AU for a late Buhari. Even Her Britannic Majesty Queen Elizabeth II also penned a condolence message to the people of Nigeria before the cabal took over and asked her to rescind it, which she did. Buhari is dead, and I'm prepared to stake Biafra on it. If you, Dele Momodu, can go and prove to me, I'm not asking you to do anything too complex. If you can go and ask this man you call Buhari, whoever it is in Asarok, to come outside, don't do very much, address a panel of Nigerian youths, maybe 20 of them, and speak Buhari's mother tongue, which is Fulfude. I will give up Biafra. I will apologize to him, and I will submit myself to any authority on this earth to do with me as they please. There is no Buhari. Jibril was there. Jibril followed Abakari to Cuba and ran away from there and never came back. The man you have now in Asarok is from the Niger Republic. His name is Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. That's his name. Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. Even Shekau knows who he is personally and was mentioning his name as well. It is not Buhari. The old Buhari that you and I know, the country cannot be burning and he will restrict himself to only 12 minutes of edited broadcast. Impossible. Impossible. Anybody that knows Buhari, even if he's dying, he must speak because he fought in his own understanding to keep Nigeria one.
Anyways, condolences to the family. But you see that of Iso? Now, you see why it is very important and unnegotiable for you to treat people rightly wherever you find yourself. If you are a leader, lead rightly and make sure you deliver on your mandate, because you never know what life will bring for you tomorrow. And you see this particular part, everybody will go through it, but it will be a shameful thing that when your time comes and you are gone, almost nobody will be willing to sympathize or condole with your family. Now, I could remember when Umaru Musa Yar'Adua died, it was like the off-light in this country. Everywhere was dark. People were mourning. People were complaining. Because why? Umaru Musa Yar'Adua was on the right path as a president of this country. And again, he led well when he was the governor of Katsina State, the same state that Buhari came from. Everybody mourned him. But can you imagine that since they announced the demise of the immediate past president of this country, I've been going from one post to the other, from X, Instagram, Facebook, and different social media apps. If you go under the comment section, some people were busy celebrating under this comment section. Others were busy swearing for him on the comment section. People were saying different things that I cannot even say here on this particular video. Reason being that the kind of record he left behind. In fact, how does it feel to discover that someone who led a country that is blessed like Nigeria for 8 good years as a president, uninterrupted, finally ended up in a private hospital in London? What happened to the hospitals here? Oh, we cannot build a reputable hospital that can take care of them. Anyways, the bottom line is do the right thing anywhere you find yourself, especially as a leader. If not, tomorrow is still waiting for you. In fact, do not forget that a former deputy senate president of this country is still in prison in London. Anyways, listen to other reactions of what is going on. And at the end, share your thought with me on the comment section. Let's go there.
The news says that our former president, Muhammad Buhari, is dead. You see this country, eh? This country is funny. The last time I checked, sometime January 31st, 2017, the news says that Buhari died. All of a sudden, they said no, that he's not dead. And they brought Buhari that is not functioning well. He was not functioning well. He was actually functioning like a robot. As a then. Do you understand? And we say, okay, bye, our. We could manage our robot Buhari. Now, allegedly, I'm beginning to suspect something. This una coalition, yeah, of a thing. I think it is because of that coalition make these people now announce the death of Buhari, the death of this Buhari. That's what I'm suspecting. Allegedly. Do you understand? Mana, see, APC now, as in, they be big politicians. Like, Tinubu na godfather for this business. You see Tinubu na God for this business. I'm telling you. Now, the man might be sensing some kind of foul play. Or he might be suspecting Buhari because of this coalition. Allegedly, they now chose to announce the death of Buhari. Okay, let's be watching this country. Every day, go on your camera, on your phone, make you see the latest news. In fact, the country don't turn cartoon. They watch cartoon every day. Buhari is dead. Zuzu when?
One of my very good friends just annoyed me. Tunde had not. You know, Tunde has nothing to invest me, my brother. I know some of the two talk, but I could tell you. It's not bad that Buhari by you post them one. I don't get problem with that one. I watch them. I don't like them. Or Tunde, for you to post, when they ask us, we could say one thing that is good about Buhari. That is offensive. Tunde, no, that's very offensive. That's very wrong. You know, I reflect my teeth today because Buhari was flossing his teeth using useless toothpick to pick in teeth when Nigerians are buying and Nigerians are passing. You know, talk say, meaning talk one thing that is good about him that time, you know, talk now. Tunde, there is absolutely nothing good to say about Buhari, make I tell you. And why they floss my teeth today, we say, make Jagaban and Wiki and all those, you are Babio, all those. So please, don't ask us to say anything good about Buhari. Buhari, you don't buy. A lot of Nigerians have buy before now. They floss your teeth. Sir, I don't know, nobody know when my own time will be. But, rest in peace. But they don't ask us that question again. Don't ask us that question. Maybe the politicians wait there now. She say nothing will save them. Maybe today call Dr. Zozia, which is the best hospital for Canada. Go and fix your place. And Dr. Zozia can.
For me, I want to appeal, to every leader that is in shadow of leadership today, that power is transient. Even the life that God has given to us is transient. When I heard of it yesterday, initially, I with a wave of hand, I said this is another rumor. I have to make one or two calls, and it was established that indeed he has passed on. For me, as I've said, this is a moment of sober reflection for us across board, most especially those in the shadow of leadership. And it is a wake-up call to the man presently at the helm of affairs in the center to see that it is not eternity.
I wouldn't give Buhari any pass mark. Any. at all, because he didn't merit it. Let us call a spade a spade. My Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Even when he was alive, we are criticizing him for what he did. So coming now that he's late to come and be, painting a glory picture, the person would just look like a fool. Because all he did in office is very clear to everybody. Even under the military that he claimed to bring war against indiscipline, there was no discipline. Because we know what transpired under his watch, and that was why his fellow brothers, Babangida, removed him from office. So, let somebody come and tell me one single thing.
For the benefit of those Nigerians who are younger and may not have been aware, can you tell us some of those things that transpired? Because we're educating people now.
When Buhari came in as a military head of state, he came in with the mantra of war against indiscipline and was mesmerizing everybody with his no-nonsense stand, no corruption, no integrity and all that. So, people bought it. Before we can say Jack Robinson, he started doing a different thing entirely. For example, when he changed the currency, when he changed the currency to curb corruption, all of a sudden, 52 suitcases, were brought in from, I think, Saudi Arabia or so, or one of these Western world. And the thing landed at our airport. Nobody cleared. It was his ADC, Jokolo, who is now the Emir of Gwandu, that cleared those things expressly without any custom investigation. It was later we learned that those things were cash under his watch. That happened. Then under his watch, his second in command.
So could it be that the man himself was, pious, but those around him were the ones perpetrating some of these things? Because the reason, sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
The reason I say that is, I don't know if you've read the reviews to the book just published by Garba Shehu, where he talked about how Buhari turned down, how he rejected 10 million naira budgeted for food. He says, look, why are we going to spend 10 million naira on food? And he opted for bean cake and pap, basically ogi and akara.
Oh God!
That was the kind of person he was. He would rather have such a simple meal than allow the nation to spend 10 million on food.
You see, these are part of the thing I personally do not like about Buhari. I'm telling you, he ruled Nigeria with deceit, high-level deceit. He will appear in the public like somebody who doesn't do this, who doesn't do that. But Moses, you and I saw what came out from CBN when Tinubu instituted a panel to probe what happened. You saw, the man even came out and told us that yes, so everything Emefiele did, I ordered it to.
But has it been proven that the signatures there were signed by him?
You didn't hear me. You didn't hear this one I said, Abi. The man said that whatever Emefiele did, that he ordered it.
Barrister, if we're to point to that, the direction of the former president of Nigeria, then why then is it that the incumbent, or rather the present administration or the present president, decided to handle the issue of the ways and means without bringing him in? Because we've not heard anything about, anybody going after him, arresting him, or calling him for questioning.
Look, over the years, Buhari was the luckiest president in the history of Nigeria. All his infractions, all his atrocities, all his corruption were just buried. It was never highlighted. Going from the time of Shagari, what Buhari did at an NPC when he was the first chairman of that institution, nobody talked about it till today. The $2.8 billion that disappeared under his watch. Nobody.
So you don't think that was because he was not involved directly, Barrister? Don't you think that was because he was not involved directly in that? Because we've seen people who happens to be military head of state too in Nigeria still alive. They wrote books, and you know how they were, how they was aware in the words in that particular book that they have. I'm talking about Olusegun Obasanjo wrote his own book. IBB also have his own book at this point in time, and some other Nigerians also. And they weren't able, or rather, they didn't call him or pinpoint any particular crime to this particular man we're talking about.
Did you hear what I said? I said he's the luckiest person.
How lucky can Nigerian be when he gets to book review and written?
Hold on. Buhari had this tendency of being, what do I call it? Unforgiving. Just like his fellow Fulani brothers. He has this heart. He will appear in public like a very quiet, harmless person. But you don't meddle with him. So people know him for that, even in the military. That's why nobody wants to expose what he did. Let me tell you a very typical example. When Obasanjo came into office and wanted to probe PTF, which Buhari headed, Buhari warned him not to try that. But Obasanjo went ahead. On the 7th of July, 1999, when Obasanjo set up that panel to probe, because he received a lot of petition against Buhari. Meanwhile, the sole consultant for all the projects under PTF, under Buhari, was somebody related to him by marriage, a man. When Obasanjo set up that panel, the day that consultant was supposed to come and testify against Buhari, because he had all the document, everything, he slumped and died. That was the end of that panel probe. That was the end. Then when Buhari now came into office in 2015, one of the things he did was to compensate the son of that consultant, a 12th level officer in the civil service, with the appointment of managing director of rural education and other. And people say, what experience does that boy have to be given such a position? Is that not compensation? So all the people, go and check, all the people they were always covering him, making him look good, so that he will, he will appear like a saint. So
are you saying that now that he's no more, we're going to see, people coming up to say things about him?
Of course. Like now, Garba Shehu, during the launch of his book, didn't you hear what he said? That rat story was made up to divert people's attention from Buhari's sickness. You can imagine. When Nnamdi Kalu's case came up, Buhari was in Owerri. I think I know Owerri or Abia. The Igbo leaders now said, look, this is our son. Is it not time you release him? Buhari said, is a matter in court, that whatever the court rule, he will abide by it. We said, okay, no problem. Eventually, the Supreme Court, not High Court, not Federal Court, not Appeal Court, the Supreme Court said Nnamdi Kanu should go. He has no case to answer. Rather, the federal government committed a criminal infraction by going to Kenya to adopt him, that they should pay him compensation and all that, that this man should be allowed to go home. He has no case to answer. Right. This happened under Buhari. What happened? Was he released?
Now, Barrister, if you are pointing at all these things, let us also remember that, Buhari was named the African Union ECOWAS anti-corruption champion. African Union anti-corruption champion, Barrister. So don't you think that, for them to actually give him or confer on him that title in 2018, make it so clear that he actually worked against corruption, or he kicked against corruption and indiscipline in Nigeria?
It's a lie. The corruption was at the highest peak under Buhari. It's just that APC and the press, they were not reporting exactly what was going on under Buhari. I'm telling you. But we have some evidence that corruption was highest under Buhari. Mention one corruption case Buhari handled and concluded. He even released those who were sent to prison for corruption. Remember the governors? I think Nyame and Dari also.
Yes, Dari.
He released them from prison and even gave them national award. What was he doing with the CBN governor that every day they were having meeting? The CBN governor will go to Aso Rock 10 times in a day.
Now, Barrister,
was it not when he left off, he will now discover what was going on? Corruption of the highest order.
The passing of Buhari at this time, some will say this closes whatever case Nigerians might have been expecting to have against the person.
Of course, because he is a principal witness in that case. Why do you think that the case was being delayed? A principal witness, because he came out and told us that nobody should prosecute Emefiele. Remember when DSS was hunting Emefiele up and down? He now brought what's it called now? Presidential whatever. That nobody should touch Emefiele. That's what happened.
Yeah, he ordered
yes.
Under
that whatever the man did, he was the one that ordered it. Can you just imagine? Is that not enough indictment on Buhari? And we are talking of trillions and trillions of naira. How do you justify that? But because it's a Buhari, Tinubu came into office with all the discoveries from CBN, from that man he sent to probe the place. What did the Tinubu do up to today? He has not told us what came out. Rather, what did he do? He went to go and pay that money according to him.
You get the point. What do you think? Hey, share your thought with me on the comment section. And of course, you know the vibe. Click on that subscribe button, follow, and share for more updates. Because like this,